Ready? 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the middle of nowhere! Wow, holy shit. You usually have to do that at least 2 more times to get that level of energy. We don't this time. Fantastic.
That's it?
Yeah, just the one. I think that was perfect.
Okay,
You've broken a record. We are now live, so everything that Jack just said, keep it in mind. Say only nice things, and turn to your neighbor and shake their hand and say, welcome. No, you don't have to do that. Imagine I made everybody do that. Like in church. Okay, so we start. Pardon?
I said, don't remind me.
Don't remind me. Church has some positive features. Like I mean, they have beautiful architecture, and those pews really help me sit up straight. You know, like even though my lower back has deteriorated over the years, maybe I should go to church more. They fix my posture. Well, like Jack said, my name is Mitch, and I like to start the middle of nowhere with like what we call a symposium. And a symposium is a discussion about something that I think is important. And today we're going to talk about self-esteem. Self-esteem is a very interesting concept to me because it's like the word like steam and esteem are very closely sonically related. I think Lucas could appreciate phased out, and that's okay. But offspring.
Yeah.
What do you?
It's a song from Self-Esteem.
Oh, what? Self-esteem?
Yes.
Oh, how many views has it gotten?
Lots. I don't know.
Yes.
Lot? Okay, good.
So million.
So do you think that helped them feel better or worse about themselves? This offspring that we are
I
mentioning.
think worse.
Pardon?
Yeah, because of the song, the lyrics of the song are not like self-esteem in a good way.
Well, if you wrote a song that one person heard and they really liked it and you never played it again for some unknown reason, or a song was played 1 million to 1 million people and none of them liked it,
I think that.
but the artist did.
Yeah.
But
It's
the
a
artist.
cautionary tale.
What is the song?
Yeah.
What is cautionary about it?
It's saying don't do this.
What not to do?
The singer has walked all over, a woman walks all over the singer.
A woman walks all over the singer?
Yes.
Well, yeah. Okay, so maybe we could tie that into self-esteem. Like self-esteem, to me, like the word esteem, like engine, like stuff that comes from you as you work. And so when we were growing up, self-esteem was often associated with like doing the right thing, being like good with your kid, with your teachers and stuff, and functioning well in the classroom. But like self-esteem now is the internal monologue that you have with yourself and how you relate to yourself. And if you don't relate to yourself well, you won't have self-esteem. And then you will act out violently against the things that you cannot understand. And like a lot of like, to this song's point, like why would one person let another person walk all over them if that person felt okay about themselves? We let people walk all over us because we don't feel good about ourselves, because we don't have self-esteem. Does that make sense? So, like, if we think about self-esteem more as like a function, like an input, something that we can just use, like energy, then we don't need to take it so personally. And it doesn't have to be about like morality or growing up. It's about like how to use yourself well. Because if you think you're okay, if you think you're functioning well, then nothing else matters. Nobody's going to be able to walk all over you because you have the ability to just go where you want to go. Now, how do we get self-esteem? That's a whole other thing, and I only give myself like 7-ish minutes on stage to talk about things that I like to talk about, so you can't completely unpack it. But I'd like to ask everybody what do you guys think self-esteem is? And if you don't have any ideas, that's okay, because that just means I get to talk more. So, like, you guys are younger kids. So, like, do you guys know what self-esteem? What's the Spanish for self-esteem?
Autoestima.
What is it?
Autoestima.
Autoestima?
Self is auto and steam is estima.
Autoestima?
Yeah.
Autoestima.
Cool. I didn't know that. I learned that today. Autoestima sounds so much better than self-esteem. Like, English is such a flat language sometimes. So, like, maybe if you think about self-esteem as being something of that you get through interacting with reality honestly. Like last week we talked about honesty and how it's just a transparent relationship with reality that allows us to gain the cleanest information possible. And then we can use that information to then conduct ourselves to the best of our ability in reality. You have nothing to hide. You're completely naked in front of everything and you don't care. And that's when you can do whatever you want because nobody's going to be able to control you. You have self-esteem. You have the ability to do whatever it is that you think is right. And another way of looking at that is like, where do you feel like what are you avoiding? Because what you avoid is a denial, and a denial is something close to a lie. And when you lie, what you're doing is you're misappropriating information. You're taking false information in. It's like trying to push crackers into your USB port and not understanding why you're not getting anything back. It's because those two things don't work together. It's a dramatic example. Thought of it on the spot. But when we lie, what we're doing is we're asking reality to do something that A, it can't do, or B, we don't even know what we want from it. And it's, again, not moralistic. This is not like finger-wagging stuff. This is not like listen to Mitch and do what he says stuff. This is more about you. This is about the individual's interaction with reality. As long as you're honest with yourself, you gain clean information. Clean information is then used like energy to pump up your self-esteem. And then your self-esteem allows you to conduct yourself authentically in the world, which feedback loops. And then over time, you gain more and more self-esteem until the point where you can sit on stage and talk to a bunch of people about self-esteem because that's what you want to do with your life. And like, this is stuff I just like to talk about and think about, and I made this show so I can do what I want. And I want to do this. And I don't have any shame about that. Or I'm not like, oh my God, this is just what I want to do. It doesn't mean that all that means is that I have enough self-esteem to function this way. A year ago, I could not do this. Probably even, a month ago, I probably couldn't have done this. It's a work in progress. Just keeping that in mind as we go forward is really important. Does anybody have any thoughts at this point? Because it's okay, there's no pressure to talk, but I like to include people. Alexi, I saw the hand go up.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything because I always end up saying something.
Which I love.
Yeah, but I feel like I should just be quiet. But
no.
The dictionary definition of esteem is two things: respect and admiration.
Oh.
So it's typically for a person, it says. So if I use that kind of like dictionary definition for self-esteem, it means that you respect yourself and you admire yourself, which it's kind of a borderline thing because self-esteem can also kind of fall over to narcissism. We have a
which is what?
Self-esteem, too much admiring of oneself. But I think everyone should have self-respect in a sense. You respect the boundaries of your body, of your abilities, and you're okay with that, and you're willing to grow. And I think that is self-respect. You don't push yourself beyond what you're capable of, and if you do and you don't succeed, you're okay with it. You're like, that's good, I'll try again. I think that's self-esteem in a respectful way. But self-admiring is okay to admire yourself, I guess, but you gotta be careful because if you go too far with the self-admiring part. So anyway.
Yeah, that's very interesting because you said if you mess up, you don't mind.
Yeah.
And I think that has a lot to do with self-esteem. Is the fact that you're willing to try, and it just ends there. There's nothing after the attempt. The attempt defines reality. Then stuff happens, but that's not personal. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you try to do whatever it is that you think is important. And then you try again later, because it'll just keep happening. You'll keep getting opportunities to try to do things that you think are important. And if you continually readjust yourself to align with whatever it is that you think is important, you will stop caring about a lot of things because they aren't important, and you'll be fine. And then you'll accept yourself, and you'll realize that you can do whatever it is that you want to do. That's a fact. I know it because I live that way.
I just want to add on that self-admiration will sneak in that way. In other words, you don't start out admiring yourself. You do things, you fail, you try again, you succeed eventually, and then self-admiration kind of comes in as kind of like a side effect. It's not like you're just setting out to admire yourself.
Right, yeah. That's a good point, yeah. we don't opt. What did Master Oogway say in Kung Fu Panda? One often meets his destiny on the road he takes to avoid it. I'll leave that with you. I just want to thank you guys for letting me talk about the stuff that I care about. We'll have to play a song and we have to get the show going. I really appreciate the hand going up though. What was your name?
That's Kyle.
Thank you for raising your hand, Kyle. I wish we had more time.
I just want to say, I really like what you said about, I don't know if you intended it to be as meaty as I think I interpreted it, but when you said, it's how you relate to yourself. I think the idea of this duality between this ongoing monologue with yourself and publicly, that, external noise, what everyone else says, there's a lot to chew on there, and I really like that, so I'm going to take that home.
You're very welcome. Thanks for chiming in, even though I'm trying to, I really appreciate that. Thanks guys for listening. Round of applause for everybody here. Thanks for listening. We're going to do one of the first songs I ever wrote. It's called Google Man. And it's about not the future, but right now. I can't play with the pick in it. That would suck.
Just test it.
Ready? This is going to be fun. I'll give myself a tattoo chip implant. Tells me where I am in case I forget. Then I'll get up a dime and I put in my soul. Keeps track of the steps I take to download programs. I hate the sound of my stupid heartbeat, so I got it replaced with one pneumatic chime. My lungs seem to have trouble breathing, so I got an aerodynamic oxygen filtration system designed. Now in a blink, I send finished emails stuck in my draft box, and when I sneeze, I delete all my spam. People's surgery appear on their faces, get incognito on your search engines. I'm a Google man. Google man. Well, I got a cat and a dog at home, but I barely see them. How do you feel when you ask? Well, I've got a pet bot that is nearly linked to my brain along with Hanky and Shane. So if they get lonely or sad, they shoot me a text. That's the name of the day of the week. Wakes me up so I don't ever get confused. Smacking my floor, it's now the equivalent of hitting snooze. I'm never late for work cause my office is inside my eyes. My boss has what I have except version 0.2 with a oh man. Oh man. Well, now my nervous working so fast I can barely speak in single words. All my friends think I've gone insane. Well, that's what it's like to live in my world, and to be honest, it's just pure lonely pain. I know about everything that's ever been done by anyone who has ever lived. I can even see into the future if I really try. That might sound good at first, just think of the consequences. Having a conversation now is like watching paint dry. How you supposed to live your life, enjoy it and have fun? You already know everything about everyone. It's like hitting a white spot inside of a nose, surrounded by the stuff you already know. Oh man. Thank you very much. All right, thanks. Thank you for listening. Next up, we have Jack, the host of the evening, is going to play a song.
Thank you. Okay, let's hear it one more time for Mitch Lanton McKecken. Coming up here, making us think, making us jam. That's why we love him. He's got the self-esteem of a rhino. That's not a thing, says Natalia. Alright, this is a song I did last week and the week before. But I'm excited to see what Ivan's going to play with it. It's about, it's a love song, but then sometimes in love things don't go right. And you just have to deal with them. Can't believe I've been talking to you all night. From Cupid's bow his arrow doth strike. Is this what it feels like when two souls collide? I see the divine when I look into your eyes. But there's one thing that's making me feel such shame. And that is that I can't remember your name. Was it Tina or was it Jane? Was it Tiffany or was it Lorraine? Love of my life, what's your name? On our wedding day when I say I do, I'd just like to know who I'm saying it to. Maybe I can write you a note asking you to elope. Just need to know what to write on the envelope. Maybe I can just start by calling you babe, and make that last until our dying day. And when I'm lying on my deathbed and you're there cradling my head, that's when I'll tell you that I don't know your name. But what I think I'll have to do is find someone to introduce you to. But I won't say your name, so you'll have to. And this time it'll stick to me like glue. But before I do, something happens, it's kind of strange. You introduce me to your friend and do exactly the same. Well, if you don't know my name, well, baby, that's okay. Let's just do this giant bag of cocaine. Thank you. Dani, get on up here, you. Let's hear it for Dani as he approaches the stage. He's playing next.
I'll sit at the piano. I brought some paper.
Okay, just bear with us as we move the microphones. I want to introduce Evan. Evan's assistant Evan. Let's hear it for Evan, everybody. Helping us move the mics. He's repping the Middle of Nowhere t-shirt. Those are still for sale. Still got some left. They're hot. If you want to be one of the cool kids like Evan this summer, come to speak to us because you'll also be supporting us. You'd be supporting the Middle of Nowhere cause by buying a t-shirt that Evan is modelling so well. And Evan also used to be a model, didn't you, Evan? Yes.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, he used to be a model, he told us last time. Okay, next up we have Dani, and ladies and gentlemen, it's Dani's birthday today. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dani. Happy birthday to you.
Yay!
That was really nice.
Yeah? Good.
Are
you ready?
Are you gonna say something?
Yeah,
or
that was the get off.
No,
No, it's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Dani.
I've never played this song before. I've never performed this song. I started learning it today just for fun. And I'm also kind of nervous because I don't do this kind of thing very much. Definitely not like the microphone with the playing and the reading at the same time. It's very foreign to me. So just thought I'd say that so I could be more comfortable myself. You don't know, babe, when you hold me and kiss me slowly, it's the sweetest thing, and it don't change. If I had it my way, you would know that you are. You're the coffee that I need in the morning. You're the sunshine in the rain when it's pouring. You're the won't you give it to me? Give it all. I just wanna see how beautiful you are. You know that I see it. I know you're a star. Where you go, I follow, no matter how far. If life is a movie, you're the best part. Oh, you're the best part. Oh, it's the sunrise on those brown eyes. You're the one that I desire. When we wake up, then we make love. It makes me feel so nice. You're the water when I'm stuck in the desert. You're the Tylenol I take when my head hurts. You're the sunshine of my life. I just wanna see how beautiful you are. You know that I see it. I know you're a star. Where you go, I follow, no matter how far. If life is a movie, you're the best part. Oh, oh, you're the best part. If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? Sing with me. If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? Thank you. Can I do one more? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try one more. This one. So this one is kind of weird because it's a story, and it's written by Randy Newman, and Randy Newman has a much lower voice than me, and I should have pushed this up like 3 or 4 semitones before I came here, but I didn't have time to do that. So I'm gonna sing it in the original key, which is really low, and then every once in a while I might just randomly jump up an octave because the notes won't come out if I don't. Even if I knew which way the wind was blowing, even if I knew this road would lead me home, Even if I knew for once where I was going, I'm lost out here without you. Rocking the baby by that window here. Plant tomatoes in the yard. Naked by the mirror, putting up your hair. Baby, it's hard. And the kids came to see you for the last time. I told them not to bring the children, the husband or the wife. I said just the blood this time, just the blood. They asked to be alone with you, so I left them alone. But I didn't go far. They said, has he been drinking again? He stumbled at the door. He can't take care of himself, Mama. We can't do this anymore. And you said, hush up, children, let me breathe. I've been listening to you all your life. Are they hungry? Are they sick? What is it they need? Now it's your turn to listen to me. I was young when we met and afraid of the world. Now it's he who's afraid and I'm leaving. Make sure he sleeps in his bed at night. Don't let him sleep in that chair. If he holds out his hand to you, hold it tight. If that makes you uncomfortable, or if that embarrasses you, I don't care. Even if I knew which way the wind was blowing, even if I knew this road would lead me home, even if I knew for once where I was going, I'm lost out here. Baby, I'm lost out here. I'm lost out here without you. Thank you.
All right, keep it going for Dani. Dani boy. Were those those were not that? What am I trying to say? That first song was not an original song, correct?
Nope.
Okay, I thought because I'd never heard it before, and I thought it was an original song, and then I thought you'd asked the room to sing your song.
Yep.
I was like, wow, what a power move! And then everyone started singing, and I was like, wow, it's not an original song. Yeah, next time. I like it. I like how you brought it back to the stage too. It's like this is not such a sketchy place. We don't want to leave us back unattended like before. I said that quietly because the volume goes through to the other room, so it's a lovely bar. Evan's ready to go. Evan had to move his own mic. That's showbiz for you. Evan's going to do some comedy for us because we are a cross-dimensional. What are you doing? Evan's going to do some comedy, and I think he's ready. So I'm going to give him the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Evan.
Thank you, Jack, so much. Just like to point out, this is in fact my first day on mic stand duty, so there will be some kinks that need to be worked out. But because I have self-esteem, I will be not taking this to heart, and I will reward myself with a beer at the end of the day, regardless how the rest of this night goes, how the set goes, how any of this goes. It's all good. Speaking of which, I will be trying some new stuff, so Let's see how this goes. I work at Starbucks. It's a gig, you know. It's a job, and at Starbucks they really like it if you kind of connect with the customers, if you talk to them and kind of like ask them how they're doing and stuff like that. That's just something that they like to do, which is fine. I clearly love to talk, so I'm all right with it. This guy came in the other day at like 6 in the morning. There's something like just a little bit off about the guy. And, he's kind of like tweaking a little bit. And so I'm standing there, I'm making his drink and stuff like that. And I'm just like, whatever. How was your weekend? And he looks at me and he looks me right in the eye. And he's just like, well, after 30 years clean and sober, relapsed on Thursday. Haven't slept in 3 days. Jesus. All right, man. So I make this guy's drink and he's halfway out the door and he leans back in. He's like, thanks, brother. I'm gonna add you on social media. Well, shit. I feel like now that that's gonna happen, I'm this is gonna end, kickstart a chain reaction of events that results with me being broke in a gutter, addicted to something, just hooked on drugs. I don't know, how that happens exactly, how you go from, new Facebook friend to new bunkmate at the shelter, but I think something just happens in the middle there. It results in me just getting addicted to all kinds of shit. Addiction's a strange thing, It consumes you. It consumes your relationships. It consumes your money. But most importantly, it consumes time. It takes a lot of commitment to really get addicted to something, really, really addicted to something, right? And you gotta think, at some point, you hear about these people with multiple serious addictions. It's there's just not enough time in the day, is there? There's got to be a maximum allowable number of addictions any one person can have at one time before they've literally squeezed every single minute of their waking lives into these addictions. You wake up in the morning and it's gotta feed that caffeine addiction 8 cups of coffee before 9 a.m. And then you gotta run because you fucking love running, so you do a 10K. And then you just start hitting the lines of cocaine. You're just railing, slamming coke until 3 or 4 p.m. and then you just start drinking, right? Then you just start slamming beers. You're knocking them back until maybe you pass out at around midnight because you still have to sleep. And then you wake up and it's 5 a.m. and you're hungover and horny and sex addiction, right? So you gotta go and you gotta find a prostitute. You just spend a few hours with them. Next thing you know, it's tomorrow. You need the 8 cups of coffee again. It's a vicious cycle, but at the same time, that sounds like a very well-structured day. That probably took a lot of planning to get all those addictions in line to work with each other and work around each other. Because I think some addictions don't work well with each other. Some of them are mutually exclusive, and I know this from personal experience. Back when I was in university, I went to Ryerson just over there, and every day I'm drinking like crazy, I'm smoking weed, I'm doing all kinds of drugs. Really ended up messing with my masturbation habit. Which is a shame, because I had that one going since I was in childhood basically. And it just started fading away from me a little bit just because you just don't have time. You're doing all kinds of this crazy shit that you do in university. And you try and carve out an hour for it every few days, and it just doesn't work. At that point, whiskey dick is in fact a real thing, and so you try and do it, but they end up just falling asleep on your bed or on the couch or the bathroom floor, wherever it was that you would do it. And I would always just say to myself, you know what? That's just one more tissue that I can use for my nose or my eyes. I had a crying problem too. All right, that ends the new stuff there. Thank you so much, you guys. I've been Evan Furlong. Bring Jack back up here. And after I get my microphone stand figured out, there we go.
Let's keep it going for Evan Furlong and his habits. Natalia, you're next. Get on up here. Let's hear it for Natalia as she approaches the stage and crosses the realm of participant in the audience, a member of the show. Although we're all members of the show, really, because you're all clapping and talking, and I'm going to talk to more of you now because they have to set up the mics. What's your name? I didn't think I met you. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. What is it? Sorry. Sonia. Welcome to the show. Are you here supporting an act, or did you just walk in here? Did you see us on social media? Did you really? Wow, that's been 100% no so far to the answer to that question. You're the first. Which platform? Facebook? Sorry? Blog.to. Mitchell, are you hearing this? The system works. You do a thing, and they say the thing's going to happen, and it happens.
What happened?
How did you not understand everything I just said? They saw us on Blog.to, and now they're here.
Who did?
Sonia and a posse.
Oh, no way, really?
A mad
Wow,
posse.
that's amazing.
What's your name behind Sonia?
Thank you for coming.
Felicia? And behind Felicia? Nicole. Nicole, Felicia, and Sonia. The light gets darker as you go back, so Nicole is almost like Felicia's shadow. If you hadn't just said something, I would have maybe thought, because you've got your glasses on too, so it's, yeah, you have longer hair. I'm just saying people's hair now. I have to keep talking because we record this as a podcast as well. So if there's these long silences while they're doing this business, it's very off-putting for the podcast listeners. Yeah. Actually, I could probably do my, should I do my podcast shout-out? Can you drench me in reverb? Podcast shout-out. There was podcast shout-out. Just like to welcome everyone who's listening on the podcast, whether you're stuck in traffic or relaxing in a nice hot bath with some candles. Thanks for listening. Can you put the reverb back up? That was Jack's podcast shout-out. We need like a sponsored by. If anyone's interested in sponsoring the podcast shout-out, sponsored by, I don't know, whatever. You ready to go? You guys are all set. These guys are all from Spain, apart from Pete. Pete's from Toronto, right? But these guys came last week and they killed it, and now they're back again. We're happy to have them. And they're ready to go, so I'm going to pass the stage to Natalia, to Ivan, and to Samuel. Make some noise, please.
anything more? Or? Yeah. Done?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Natalia's.
All right, keep it going for Natalia, Ivan, and Samuel. Wow. That was TMoN first to have the spoons. If you're listening at home and wondering what that was 2 wooden spoons being played like a. I don't know. My vocabulary isn't good enough. It was just like 2 good spoons.
What was the song?
What was the song?
Wake me up, Avicii.
What was the song? Wake Me Up?
Avicii.
Yeah? Avicii? Yeah.
Hello, black.
Avicii? What?
Hello, black.
What is it
And I
called?
know Black is the singer.
Oh, and Aloha Black? I
Yes.
don't know. I don't.
Wake
That
me up
sounds
is
too
this,
young for me.
Wake me up is this.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Aloe Black.
It's Avicii and the guy singing it was named
Yes.
Aloe Black.
Like Avicii
Hello,
is a
Black.
DJ.
Okay, so who's Avicii? Avicii's in the song too?
Who was Avicii? He produced the
He,
song.
he produced the song. The producer gets in the thing now. Oh, whatever.
He made the song.
He made, I know what a producer does. Like, he made the song. I just didn't know, like, when someone's like, who's that by? That you name a producer. Or that you name by the singer.
Well, he's a DJ who produced like.
He's the DJ, yeah, Avicii. Yeah.
He's not
Avicii,
just
that
like
was cool.
a producer.
Oh man. Okay, thank you for educating me. That was wonderful, guys. Thank you very much
Thank you.
for performing. You're going to come. Ivan's coming back up later.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's later.
Cool. Looking forward
And
to
with
it.
Sam too.
Next up, we have another comedian, and his name's Sam Tetsos. And please make some noise as he comes up to the stage. Sam has performed a few times here on our stage, and he's very funny. And I'm always excited to see him perform. So here he is, Sam Tetsos, everybody.
What's up, middle of nowhere?
What is up, middle of nowhere?
What's up?
Not a lot, apparently, eh? They were talking about self-esteem before. I'm a narcissist, so what I'm doing with comedy is trying to fill the gap between my perceived self-image and my actual self-image, you know? Trying to retroactively add values that I'm already walking around like I have. Yeah. I had a friend of mine recently post on Instagram. He posted a picture of him and his girlfriend. He wrote, "Happy 6-month anniversary of dating." I was like, if you've been with somebody for lesser time than I've been with my toothbrush, shouldn't count. I want to hear about it. 6 months. That's nothing to be celebrated. I came home the other day and I saw my toothbrush sitting there. Her hair was a mess. She had like white stuff all over her, like she had a clay mask on or something. Walked right up to her, was like, "Hey babe." Picked her up, pulled her close to my lips. But this time I couldn't turn her on, guys. Something was amiss. I said, "What's wrong, baby?" My toothbrush was like, "It's okay, it's Sam, I'm sorry. I've just been working so hard, my batteries are drained." And I was like, "Oh, I thought the vibe has been off for a while, you know, to talk to me." She's like, "It's just you're never home. You know? You only seem to want to see me right before you go to bed." I was like, "Listen, okay, I'm out there pursuing my dreams for both of us, all right? Would you really want me to resent you from preventing me from that? Or would you want me to have a wholesome life outside of us, and then together, when we're together, it's magical? And fuck 6-month relationships." You've been through shit. In 6 months, you're still going to the same restaurants you went to the last person you dated for 6 months, you know? Trials and tribulations. Bitter human. Yeah, I have, there's a new problem popping up now. Every girl that I hang out with more than 3 times, it becomes really active on Twitter again. Because I guess this seems really easy when you talk to me. And it's really watering down my feed. The last girl I was hanging out with is, tell me if any of you people in this room, we have subtitles people here? People who turn the subtitles on Netflix?
Oh, wow, you watch? Yeah.
Are you guys hard of hearing, or you just do that?
I like to read.
Literally the most entitled people on the face of the universe. They don't even think about the other people in the room. They're like, "I just like it better like this." And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to read the script of this movie instead of watch it now. You know? I'm going to see Leonardo DiCaprio from the torso down for the duration of this movie, and I'm not going to know why he got an Oscar for this, you know? It's selfish. Doesn't matter if there's one subtitle person in the room and 20 people who don't. Subtitles go on. And you know what? I'm fucking sick of it. It's a bullshit way to live. Like being at a library being like, "Sorry guys, I just read out loud. It's the only way I can do it." and the sheep crossed the road, and you're like, fuck off, dude. Like, you wouldn't do it there, you don't do it at my house, alright? Fuck subtitles, unless you're hard of hearing, then I can sympathize. We can come together. But if it's just a luxury good, then don't impose that shit on me, alright? I'm trying to watch acting here. There's actors. Fucking, it's like, I might as well watch a YouTube tutorial of someone flipping a comic book for you, you know? Sick of this shit. Do you have any NFL fans here? Football? Not doing that joke, man. I missed the time in my life where I was just ignorant about what's healthy and what's not, you know? Like, I missed the days where vitamin water was good for you. You guys ever have that phase? Just get a vitamin water down and be like, no vegetables today, I am good. Oh, God, it's wonder why I'm fat. I've been sucking in this whole time, guys. That's self-esteem. Self-worth. Yeah, this is arrogance. I have a problem I have now is trying to get better financially. So what I do now, as soon as my paycheck hits, I go buy groceries, right? Which is a logical thing to do. The problem is after that, I think all my bases are checked and I spend all my money aggressively on things that Evan was talking about. And I'm left with like a tiny budget at the end of the week and just these stupid groceries. For the last 3 days, I've been opening my morning with a coffee-flavored ice cream instead of actual coffee. Because if you go to the grocery store with money, you buy stupid shit like that. And when you don't have money, you're just forced to make these obscure meals, right? Coffee-flavored ice cream. I had minute rice with leftover Chinese vegetables, and then I just put nuts in them because I didn't know what else to do. I was like, protein, right? This is how this works. I am a really good chef of nothing. Stupid as hell. I'll do one more really dumb one, and then, depending on how awkward it is, I might remain for a couple more songs. I was thinking of superhero origin stories, right? They always run into some sort of like disease or bacteria or a spider bite, and I think we might finally have one that will make us superhero, but it'll not be the one I want, and it's super gonorrhea. The only super diseases now are STDs, guys. Be careful, because we might have a weird Spider-Man, you know? I got bit by something I should not have done, and now I tackle criminals oddly. All right, guys. Lesson number 1, write your jokes. Thank you, guys.
Sam Tetsos, keep it going! Oh yeah, that was it? Oh, okay. Yes, that was Sam Tetsos, talking about a lot of things. I went to the dentist today. I went to the hygienist, which is just...
What are you saying?
I'm saying that you reminded me about teeth, and that's it. That's no other alternative, ulterior motive. But yeah, the hygienist is an unpleasant experience as a whole, as is going to the dentist, I think. I think whenever I'm at the dentist, it always reminds me, or always makes me think how poorly I would hold up under interrogation of any sort, or any kind of interrogation, or I think, you know, in the movies when they show you the tools and they go talk, like at that point that's when I would talk. I would sing like a canary as soon as they showed me the... It's also difficult to be nice to her afterwards. Like I was really nice to her at first because I was just being pleasant, and then it's like 45 minutes of her poking me in the gums, and then afterwards she's like, hey, well, bye, and I'm like, oh, fuck you. She was nice. That was just some off-the-cuff dental humor I thought just then. Woo! Ow! Up next is Charlie. Charlie in the back of the room. Are you ready to go, Charlie?
Yeah.
Get on down here. Sonia. I realised I was a little too... I wasn't cool when you said that you saw us on Blog TO and that's why you were here. I didn't play it cool at all. I should have been like, oh, nice, because that's what happens all the time. So, can we? Huh? Oh, you did? You didn't see it? Oh, that's which one's Felicia? Felicia's all the way. You're Felicia.
Was it the really well written description that it's because it's free?
Yeah. You saw it because it was free. Yeah.
Who told you it was free?
Do you guys feel you're getting your money's worth? Yeah. Okay, so next up is Charlie. He's going to do something on the piano, I'm guessing. So, ladies and gentlemen, he was here last week.
I was.
Yeah, and he's come back again. It will be down soon, Charlie. Ladies and gentlemen, make
I
some
was.
noise, please, for Charlie.
Thanks, Jack. Yeah, we'll get there. All right, so this song is called Shadow Line, and it's about sort of imaginary line that you may not want somebody to cross because they kind of cross into your personal space. So Shadow Line. You get dark feelings, your friends, they sold you a cold. Life gets ugly so fast when every gambler falls. Delusions right out of your mind, so they better stop crossing, they better watch the shadow line. You get dark feelings, your eyes, they don't need much light to sense that trust is faded, isolated on the vine tonight. Delusions right out of your mind, so they better stop crossing, they better watch the shadow line. Better stop crossing, better watch the shadow line. I stood in shadows of people like you. Felt so small, cheap way to lose, nothing's where you left it, and friends conspire in your home. Inside they're coyote ugly, and inside you fight for control. Delusion turns to raging side, so they better stop crossing, they better watch the shadow line. Better stop crossing, they better watch the shadow line. Better stop crossing, they better watch the shadow line. Shadow line. Shadow line. So I just want to say this is my second time here, but I met Mitch at another open mic. You can't say the other stage.
We don't ever see
No, I don't know. Met in a supermarket somewhere.
We didn't even meet.
Okay, so
So I came down here and I was really inspired by all the things that you said. Like you're talking about, one thing you mentioned was that love and fear were derived from the same word. I think you mentioned that. And same root, okay. Root as in something that you eat?
Like the root, yeah, the same piece of wood.
Same piece of wood. Okay. And also talked about honesty last week and self-esteem this week. So it's I think everybody was sort of chiming in and enjoying that. So I'm trying to. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, very inspiring. All the comedians and poets have been very inspiring, and so I've been working on a song. I'll just give it a little introduction, and we get a little beat going. I want to try something kind of slow. So I've never really done this. I don't think I've ever read it to anybody, but we'll just try it here. So this, anybody here ever read any Cormac McCarthy? Are you familiar with this guy? Okay.
Candle flame and the image of the candle flame twisted and righted.
What's that?
The candle flame and the image of the candle flame twisted and righted when he entered the room and again when he closed the door.
Okay. So he's like not the world's most positive guy. He's like the pessimist. Especially, and sort of like almost like that kind of Old Testament pessimism. You know, it's real like floods and end of the world stuff. So, I try not to like. I'm a big fan of movies. I watch a lot of sort of post-apocalyptic movies. I've seen a lot of them, and you kind of wonder, like, what will the future look like? Like, will it be like a Mad Max kind of scenario, or a Terminator, or Waterworld, or Matrix, or Planet of the Apes? And to me, these scenarios all seem like they're entertaining and insightful, but somewhat cartoonish. But then you go to Cormac McCarthy, and he wrote a book called The Road. Anybody read this book or see this movie? Happy Tale. Well, I mean, it's a story of love between a father and a son, but probably not under the best of circumstances. So, anyway, it was turned into a movie by an Australian director named John Hillcoat. That was in 2009. And a writer named Tim Adams wrote in The Observer. You can see this at theguardian.com. He said, it has been said that politicians lack the imagination to envision the worst nightmares of climate scientists. So perhaps they should be required to read The Road. So anyway, just a thought. So this is kind of a little graphic at times, and but it's kind of the way The Road made me feel, perhaps combined with a bit of like the car imagery from Mad Max. And so we need like kind of a slow beat, but you guys can kind of We're looking for dark and foreboding here, okay? All right, so this is people just seem to get up and say what they want here, so we're gonna try this. All right, so this song is entitled, or this poem is entitled "Big Ass Truck," and you could kind of Weird Al yank it to the riff of Old Town Road, but we're just gonna do our own thing here. Okay, so bear with me. And I want to pre-thank you guys for doing this. Okay. All right, that'll work. Oh, by the way, I'm reading this off of paper as opposed to an iPhone. Kind of going old school here. But if this works well tonight, next week you'll see me do it from an iPhone, or maybe even memorized. All right. I'm gonna ride towards the future in my post-apocalyptic truck. Rivets tinted, painted black. Plate says, I don't give a fuck. With kick-ass, Bigfoot tires. I'm gonna be king of the road. Gonna ride up high and mighty with a mounted gun rack that I stole. I'm gonna get my girlfriend pregnant, just like a concubine. Plastic condoms long since run out. and so has all the moonshine. Gonna live like the king mosquito down by the stagnant pool, where the air smells like malaria, breeze no longer cool. I'm gonna buy a post-apocalyptic truck, run on meanness, grit and steel. The stereo blasts as the battery drains, engine muscle you can feel. Now the 1% that ran the world, well, they'll lie dead in their tracks. Their bunkers raided by the lean, 'cause fat dies from heart attacks. I'm gonna buy a post-apocalyptic truck, 'cause I'm gonna run you off the road. Gonna ride up high and mighty, gonna steal your food and clothes. When starvation gets the best of me, and I no longer feel, I'll eat my brothers and my sisters, sensitive kids just like veal. Gonna buy a post-apocalyptic truck, Mad Max out to the end crescendo. 'Cause I got fuel to burn and roads to drive, a steering wheel that I call friendo. Gonna terrorize the landscape till my gas runs out. I'm gonna sleep in the flatbed until my blood runs out. Now, I can't sell my post-apocalyptic truck, so my coffin will slowly rust. My bones, the only payload, a beacon in the nightshade dust.
Thanks for that indulgence.
All right, let's hear it again for Charlie. Wow, thank you for doing that and experimenting up on our stage. That was wonderful. And let's hear it for Samuel, Pete, and Mitchell, who just fucking went with it. Whoops. What? That's why we have them. That's why we have them. Hey, Samuel, you're killing it. Is there like a... oh, by the way, Ivan's next. Ivan's next.
Okay.
Get on up here, you. Let's hear it for Ivan as he approaches the stage. Make some noise. Do you like, is there a Spanish translation for killing it? Like a... Killing it is like, well, I guess it means you make something no longer alive. But it's, for some reason, in our Western crazy world, it's become meaning like you're doing really good. You're killing it. I'm going to guess there's no direct translation. Guys, we're doing pretty well for time, so if anybody's sitting in the back, lurking in the dark corners of the middle of nowhere, has a little itch in their glute that's like a, I want to come up here on the stage, and that kind of itch, then come and talk to me after this act, while this act is performing. Because we'll get you up here. Kyle, I see you drumming. I see you drumming over there. Steph, what's up? Thanks for coming. What's your name right in the back? What is it?
Oscar.
Oscar. Where are you from, Oscar?
The islands.
The islands. Could you be more vague, Oscar? About where you're from? The Earth. Thank you. We are all children of Earth, Oscar. I like you already. Yeah, let's clap to that. Don't sit on the impulse to clap ever in this run. You ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please make all the noise you can muster up at this moment in time for Ivan.
But they don't say it, so that's because it changes a lot. Okay.
Whatever makes you happy, wherever you are. The skin is so perfect. The skin makes me cry. I want you to know that wherever you are. I wish I was special, just so very special. But I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Around to know, I wanna have control. I want a perfect body, want a perfect soul. Want you to know that when I'm not around, I wish I was surfing. You're so very special. But I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Oh, oh, tears running out the sorrow. Tears running out. See, run, run, so special, so very special. Around my cream, I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here.
I have to say something that I forgot, that I don't know all the lyrics and I forgot to take my phone that where all the lyrics are. And like, I remember some pieces, but if some lyrics sound strange, you know why. So now I'm gonna do it well. I'm gonna grab my phone to check the lyrics.
For the next song. I thought it was because you were Spanish.
Huh? Well, no,
You could be.
yeah, both. Like, I'm Spanish, I don't have the lyrics.
It sounded better with you. What was the word you were using? Marta? What? So fucking special.
Yeah, so fucking special, like, the original ones in
You are so fucking special.
You know what? Thank you. Huh? Yeah, that's right.
self-esteem raised after you say that. Okay. So now.
You raised it, man. You raised it.
Okay. What? Okay. You know, pork Avicii. I don't think it's not well common in this group as well. Yeah, they're cool. What is it? It's like. Well, I think it's. I think it is. C major, but it has changes. But it's C major. So, yeah. Well, baby.
Transit of night spine under the blind. Tiny encounter, railway house. And I heard a sound from Marcus' bed. And soft string up, railway ahead. Oh, that's so. A 60-ton angel falls to the air. A pile of old metal, a radiant glow. Scars in the country, tell the man her. The summer sun slipping away. Find me a way for making a stay. When I hear the engine buzz, I'm kissing your wife. Kissing subsides, I'm in love. When the engine buzz, I'm kissing your wife. Kissing subsides, I'm in love.
I'm so sorry about that.
All right, everybody, give it up for Ivan. Jack said I could come up here and say a few things, so I'm taking that opportunity too. He is elsewhere. Oh, he's over there. Hey, Jack. That was really good, man. That was really good, Ivan.
Thank
You didn't know the words to that? It sounded great to me. For someone who's heard that song at least twice. That did not seem to be amiss at all in my mind. They stopped playing that song live, didn't they? Radiohead? Do they not play Creep anymore live?
Oh, Creep.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking the second one.
No, I was talking about the first one.
Oh.
Creep, yeah.
Actually,
He did it without the lyrics, did the whole thing from
we have to
memory.
delete that from the podcast because you're not allowed to play Creep live. Did you know that?
What?
I think that's...
You're not allowed. 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 You're not allowed to play Creep live. Ever. Never. Did you know that?
There's no way that's true.
I'm just joking. It's like Stairway to Heaven. How
Oh
dare you.
yeah, Stairway to Heaven. You can't play that in guitar stores worldwide. They'll throw you out. They don't love it.
Bye, Dani. Happy birthday, young man.
Goodbye. All right, are we ready to bring on our next act?
We can.
We can do it.
Who is it?
It's Alexi.
Alexi,
Get on up
yay!
here, man.
Oh. Do you want to stand up or sit down?
Alexi does the art of spoken word, and he will stand for us, and he will bring us his wisdom and his sweet cadence.
This is Cormac McCarthy's. He's a novelist, and they say that every novelist is a failed short story writer, and that every short story writer is a failed poet. And here is a novelist who turns his words into poetry. The candle flame and the image of the candle flame, caught in the pier glass, twisted and righted when he entered the hall, and again when he shut the door. He took off his hat and slowly came forward. The floorboards creaked under his boots in his black suit. He stood in the dark glass where the tiles leaned so palely from their wasted cut glass vase. Along the cold hallway behind him hung the portraits of forebears, only dimly known to him, all framed in glass and dimly lit. Above the narrow wainscoting, he looked down at the guttered candle stub. He pressed his thumbprint in the warm wax pooled on the oak veneer. Lastly, he looked at the face so caved and drawn among the folds of funereal cloth, the yellowed mustache, the eyelids paper thin, that were not sleeping, that were not sleeping. This next poem is by myself, and it's a little bit about self-esteem, I guess, or a shift in self-esteem. It's called Even the Moon is Broken. I have been afflicted by certainty, tattooed on my forehead, a destiny. Go ask about my youthful myth. They will report every high hope, but these lofty passions were no match for the withering tendency of age. Still, I go on pouring love into the subtle ways eyes leave one letter for another, though nobody else sees it, though no one's love is due it, I pour all my wine into it, as if it were my soul's duty to stand up for myself before men and utter my whoop, my crazy yell. I've had enough of seeking after love. I've had enough glimpses of heaven. I've had enough of, oh, woe is me. The bad habit of telling others I have no bad habits, I will break it. You will hear no more of my alleged virtues from me. I'll let calamity strike lightning about me. I'll let grief rain down to drench my head. Night's unlight will be enough to keep me well. Tornadoes may crack the oak tree, bending low the sea of reeds. I choose indecision to carry me. So after the storm and in the breaking dawn, only birds sing happily. They still seem to see the point of living, having nothing left under heaven to lose. I don't want to be a star anymore, and certainly not the sun. Even the moon is broken. I think I see too. I know a song. When the stars line up and you catch a good break, people think you're lucky, but you know it's grace. It can happen so fast or a little bit late. Timing is everything. You know I had close calls when it could have been me. I was young when I learned just how fragile life could be. I lost friends of mine. I guess it wasn't my time. Timing is everything. And I could have been a child that God took home. And I could have been one more unfinished poem. And even though a rhyme is hard to find, that's when one comes along just in time. Well, I remember that day when our eyes first met. You ran into the building to get out of the rain 'cause you were soaking wet. And as I held the door, you wanted to know my name. Timing is everything. I could have been another minute late, and you never would have crossed my path that day. And when it seems true love is hard to find, that's when love comes along just in time. You can call it fate or destiny. Sometimes it really seems like it's a mystery, 'cause you can be hurt by love or healed by the same. Timing is everything. It can happen so fast or a little bit late. Timing is everything.
All right, keep it going for Alexi. Man, that was great, Alexi. You sang for us. How did that feel? Yeah, good. I enjoyed it very much, and I enjoyed your poems too. Sitting in the back, one of the crowd. I was amongst you, amongst my people, and it felt good. Next up is Pete, and he knows it because he's getting ready. Pete, you're doing some Seeger. We had a request in the back of the room.
No, not yet.
There's some Seeger fans in the house. No, not yet. You got to come back. Just any other Saget fans? Bob Saget. Yeah. Are you doing some Saget? Nothing. Rude. Thank you very much for coming. We have thrice more acts. Thrice is English for three. It's the Queen's English. That's the English I speak. And after Pete is Kyle in the back. He's been lurking, and he followed me into the bathroom. And he said, I want to go up. And we're going to make it happen for Kyle. And then we have Josh, if he's around. Pete, are you ready to go? Yes, he is. Good. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Pete. Smiley.
Notes in the back. Oh man, that would have been bad. I forgot the capo. This is a song from a folk singer from I think it's from the 60s or 70s called Stan Rogers. And here it is. Shows its bones of wind, broken stone, and the sea and the sky are one. I'm caught out of time, my blood sings with wine, and I'm running naked in the sun. There's God in the trees, and I'm weak in the knees, and there's eyes of painful blue. I'd like to look around, but honey, all I see is you. And I just want to hold you closer than I've held anyone before. Say been twice a wife and you're through with life. Oh, but honey, what the hell's it for? After 23 years, you think I could find a way to let you know somehow that I want to see your smiling face 45 years from now. The summer city lights will soften the night till the sea and the sky are one. I'm getting with friends with 45 cents. We'll buy another glass of beer. Right. Something to say, but I'm so far away that I don't know who I'm talking to. 'Cause you just walked in the door, and honey, all I see is you. And I just want to hold you closer than I've held anyone before. Saving twice a wife and you're through with life. Oh, but honey, what the hell's it for? After 23 years, you think I could find a way to let you know somehow that I want to see your smiling face 45 years from now. Alone in the lights on stage every night, I've been finding out to find a friend who knows all the words and sings so she's heard and knows how all the stories end. Maybe after the show she'll ask me to go home with her for a drink or two. Now a smile lights her eyes, but honey, all I see is you. And I just want to hold you closer than I've held anyone before. Saving twice a wife and you're through with life. Oh, but honey, what the hell's it for? To 23 years, you think I can find a way to let you know somehow that I want to see your smiling face 45 years from now. Thanks. I'm gonna play one more. We figured out what it was gonna be. Okay, nah. This one is by the actually I don't know who it's actually by, but the Hawaiian guy who's plays the ukulele and he's a very large man. I can't pronounce his name. Israel Kamawawi. I wish I knew how to pronounce his name, but that's the version of this song I know. For all I've been blessed with in my life, there was an emptiness in me. I was in prison by the power of gold. With one kind touch you set me free. Let the world stop turning, let the sun stop burning. Let them tell me love's treasure that I long to find. Without your love, I would be lost. Let the world stop turning, let the sun stop burning. Let them tell me love's not worth going through. If it all falls apart, I will know deep in my heart the only dream that mattered had come true. In this life, I was loved by you. In this life, I was loved by you. Thanks.
Keep it going one more time, Pete Smiley. I love him. I love that guy. He's just nice. A nice guy. One of the nicest guys you'll meet. What says that? He's not one of the nicest guys you'll meet, but I think Pete is one of the nicest guys. If not the nicest guy. Kyle. You're next.
Oh!
Please make some noise for Kyle as he enters the realm of the stage. Hi, Kyle. Kyle, how did you come to be here? Did you see us on social, or did you just know about us here?
I did.
You saw it on social media? Nice.
Well, I Googled open mic events and came up pretty quick.
Cool. And you're here, and you're gonna sing?
I'm gonna do a couple of things if that's all right.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna shut up. Make some noise one more time for Kyle, please.
How's it going, guys? So I do a little bit of everything. I really appreciated the talk at the beginning too. It's weird. I've been getting into this sort of thing. You know Brienne Brown?
Yeah.
You heard her? All of a sudden this stuff becomes very topical, and then if anyone's ever read The Alchemist, it's like the coincidences have been no coincidence, which is like this awesome foreboding thing. But anyway, I'm not very religious. I never really believed in God. But recently I had an experience that kind of changed my mind. I was having a really bad day. One of those days when you wake up, and your penis just looks flaccid and unusable. You have a headache. You see some woman hitting her kid at a bus stop. And you're like, yeah, fuck him up. It's one of those days when you gotta go to Home Depot. My mom's like, Kyle, can you go to Home Depot? We need light bulbs. I was like, you need light bulbs? I was just gonna masturbate in the dark. Do you ever wonder how many ghosts have seen you masturbate? I have. I think about it all the time. Like, sometimes it could be standing room only in there. Like, just shoulder to shoulder, like, hey, it's about to start again. And you're, jerking off to some, like, donkey midget porn or something like that. And all of a sudden one ghost is flying by and he's like, hey, Frank! Hey, Frank, get over here! Come see what your grandson's doing! This is why you died in World War II. Come here! And then you get to hell, and you see all your relatives, and they're like, you masturbated a lot. And I'm like, and you guys watched. And they're like, well, I guess that's why we're all here. So anyway, I'm having a bad day, right? And I'm walking into Home Depot, and I'm going through the exit, and as I'm walking past the self-scan, this, like, old man farts audibly, like this mud flying out of a trumpet, dirty fart. And I walk right through it, and then just burst out laughing. And at that moment, I felt as though I was passing through the warmth of God's love, and I knew everything was going to be okay. Just kidding, I'm totally an atheist. Anyway, I recently had a thought, and by recently I mean about 7 years ago when I wrote this joke, about homeless people. When they got rid of the penny, that was like giving every homeless person a raise. Because now, like, denominationally, the last thing they can ask for is a nickel. And so anyway, the funny thing is, this woman was shaking a coffee cup at me, and she goes, change, change. I go, change it into what? Lady, I'm not an alchemist. And she goes, no, and she's shaking. I'm like, I don't have a coffee machine either. I don't know what you want. It's like, do you have any change? And I was like, oh, no, I don't, no. But do you want to know something? I had change. I had lots of change. People have change. And really, if you don't have change, all you're saying is, I have money, but just so much of it, I don't carry it in its lowest denominations. People have change, otherwise there wouldn't be wishing wells and gumball machines. That woman watched me walk past her and give change to 10 kids with iPads. Anyone change? Anyway, there was a homeless guy standing outside this Tim Hortons that I go to, and I guess what makes a bum is like, they don't have a talent and they don't provide a service. They're just kind of there. And they're getting really crafty, and some of you may not drive, some of you may, but they're standing at off-ramps. This is just an insight, there's no joke here. They're all, off-ramps is like the new thing. You come off the highway and they're right there. And they're just like, they're crafty, because you gotta sit there and like, they've kind of maximized their exposure per like minute, where you're just sitting there like, damn, and now they're getting aggressive, they're shaking the sign at the window and stuff, and I'm like, fuck, I'm looking around for coupons and like leftover food, I'm like, get away from me! And anyway, so this homeless guy, he would just open the door. The Tim Hortons like, thank you, I know how to open a door, thank you. And so I got really irritated, and I petitioned that Tim Hortons to replace him with a revolving door. Okay, well, that's a bit of comedy, if you couldn't tell. And thank you. This is something I wanted to do for a while. I do a couple different art forms. One of them is writing. Oh, just one quick thing again. I never memorized this, and to be honest, I didn't think I'd have a chance to do it, and thank you very much for asking me, give me the opportunity to come do it. This is something I wrote. I do a lot of drugs, and then I write stuff, and so a lot of it's very stream of consciousness, and it may not exactly make sense, but it's kind of cool. First pig to the trough, no pecking order. I'm an absent-minded old man, a two-handed bowler. Doing the right thing is everything. What else really matters? The rest is ambivalent painting, a vague mess of splatters. Each person is a maze with no bird's eye view, and I'm eager to turn back, even halfway through. First, you'll meet the weak and cornered me. Next thing you know, you're in a knife fight with a double-jointed monkey. I'll stare at the sun until I sneeze, to witness this evaporating chi. A transgender mishap, some marginal error. Get off my back, I'm not paid by the hour. It's not Jesus who answers when you ask him to bless your bullets. More fun than shooting zombies with missing teeth and mullets. First one to claim it's no way to behave will be the boy on the rope lowered into a cave. All these people wearing statements, it's the latest fashion. I'm waiting when I'm stoned, but when I'm drunk I'm splashing. A sleepless giant rests his thoughts atop a snowy mountain. I was staring at the hands when the pixies rolled my joint again. An old man in a diaper just tried to rape my thoughts. The last line wasn't great, and if you thought it was, it's not. Sleep is time travel, an arbitrary walk of many miles, a pinball machine of pointless points piling up meanwhile. My mind is getting crowded. Get these people out of me, a different breed in desperate need of a Soviet lobotomy. Let me borrow some thoughts, I'll return them to you soon, and may you retrieve them to find them well-tuned. Thanks guys, it's a bit of a dream come true for me.
Suburbs I learned to drive, but you told me we never survive. Grab your mother's keys, we're leaving. You always seem so sure that one day we'd be fighting in the suburban war. You're part of town against mine. I saw you standing on the opposite shore. But by the time the first bombs fell, we were already bored. We were already bored. Sometimes I can't believe it. I'm moving past the feeling. Sometimes I can't believe it. I'm moving past the feeling. still screaming and running through the yard. And all of the walls that they built in the 70s finally fall. And all of the houses they built in the 70s finally fall. And nothing at all, and nothing at all, and nothing. Sometimes I can't believe it. I'm moving past the feeling. Sometimes I can't believe it. I'm moving past the feeling again. So would you understand why I want a daughter while I'm still young? I wanna hold her hand, show her some beauty before all this damage is done. But if it's too much to ask, if it's too much to ask, tell me, son. Down by the overpass, in the parking lot, we're still waiting, it's already past. So move your feet from hot pavement and into the grass, 'cause it's already past, it's already past. Sometimes I can't believe it, I'm moving past the feeling. Sometimes I can't believe it, I'm moving past the feeling. Sometimes I can't believe it, I'm moving past the feeling. Sometimes I can't believe it, I'm moving past the feeling and into the night. My dream, they're still dreaming.
Thanks, guys. Thanks so much.
All right, Kyle. Let's hear it one more time for Kyle. Man of many talents. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing that with us. Guys, we're going to end the night there. Have you all had a good evening? Thank you for sticking with it. Have you all had fun? Yay! Thank you very much for coming. You've been a great audience. There's been energy. There's been love in the room.
Thank you.
I hope everyone's self-esteem has
Mine
increased.
has increased.
Mine too, which is good. Always good to
It's
have
good.
a shot of, yeah.
Well done.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for
Mine thrice.
yours thrice. Thrice times self-esteem. That's what we're going for. Thrice times. Let's hear it for the band. We had Pete Smiley on bass. Keep it going for Pete. Sam Well played the fiddle, the violin, and you did it superbly. Thank you for coming. You're welcome back anytime. Lucas Luzar's on the buttons, making us all sound good. And Evan moved microphones around. He did more than that. He's great. I love you, Evan.
And Jack Charles as the host. Round of applause. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. One of the things we like to do is invite everybody up onto the stage for a picture for the gram. No pressure. If you don't want to, that's fine. It's actually helpful if one person doesn't because they take the picture. But if everybody wants to, that's fine. We'll work it out somehow. So that's it. That's the show. Please go check out the website, listen to the podcast. Tell a friend, tell a loved one that you had a good time here tonight, and get home safe. And get up on the stage for a photo. And here comes